From the national newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Karen Rebo. Minneapolis is on edge following yesterday's fatal shooting of a woman by a U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement officer taking part in the Trump administration's latest immigration crackdown. ABC News reporter Pierre Thomas says the FBI is focused on all the evidence it can gather.
They want every angle possible to go through it frame by frame so that it can be determined exactly what took place. What was the woman in the car doing? What was the position of the law enforcement official? What was the angle? That is what is going to clear this up.
State and local officials have demanded ICE leave the state after 37-year-old driver Renee Macklin-Good was shot in the head. But Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem said they are not going anywhere, and she called the killing an act of self-defense. Mayor Jacob Fry dismissed that characterization as garbage. Victims' families will mark the 6-year anniversary of the downing of Ukraine International Airlines flight PS 752 in Iran, with events today in Ontario and BC. The plane was shot down by 2 Iranian missiles after takeoff from Tehran on January 8, 2020. All 176 people on board were killed, including 55 Canadian citizens and 30 permanent residents here. Canadian Airlines pulled back in a big way from the U.S. over the past year and boosted flight volumes elsewhere amid political tensions and unfriendly trade policies with our neighbor. Canadians still want to get away, but they don't want to get away so much to the U.S. Figures from aviation data firm Cirium show that Canada-U.S. flight volumes fell 14% year over year in the fourth quarter among Canada's 5 largest carriers. Florida, California, and Nevada, especially Las Vegas, saw some of the biggest drops in capacity from Canadian carriers. But airlines ramped up flight volumes in the Caribbean and South America. And the Vancouver Symphony Orchestra says it won't be taking legal action after all against a violinist who broke a non-disclosure agreement to go public with accusations that she'd been raped by one of its senior musicians. Canadian Press reporter Rob Westgate spoke with Esther Huang.
During our conversation, I asked Huang how she feels now since the VSO was no longer following through on their legal threat.
They have not released me from the NDA. They wrote that they don't intend to take any steps to bring a claim against me for the breaches of confidentiality agreement, and a person's intention can always change.
She also shared how her husband, family, friends, and public support kept her going.
Also, it helps that, I play violin, and it's a great way of going through the emotions through music.
Despite the symphony's public course correction, Huang says she has not been given an apology, nor has she been released from the NDA. This is the Canadian Press. In sports, just hours after the Utah Mammoth beat the Ottawa Senators 3-1, the NHL team announced outdoor hockey is coming to Utah. The Utah Mammoth will host the 2027 Winter Classic. Alexandre Texier had a goal and 2 assists as the Montreal Canadiens took a 4-1 win over the Calgary Flames. Former Hall of Famer Glenn Hall has died at 94. An Ironman with Detroit, Chicago, and St. Louis, Hall was nicknamed Mr. Goalie. Toronto Raptors fans got a thrill watching their NBA team play in Charlotte last night. Toronto rallied from 10 points down in the fourth quarter, and Emmanuel quickly hit a 3-pointer from the top of the key at the buzzer to lift the Raptors over the Hornets 97-96. RJ Barrett finished with 28 points in total, and Canada's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander scored 46 points, and his Oklahoma City Thunder beat Utah 129-125 in overtime. From the Canadian Press, I'm Karen Rebo.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.